The Billionaire's Obsession. Harold Vance stared at the city below, his penthouse perched high above a sprawling world that bowed to his will. Conquest, control, and consumption. These were more than ambitions to Harold. They were the defining traits of his being. His empire, built atop others' ruin, was his dominion, and yet his wealth left him with a void money could never fill. To Harold, people were pawns, women mere ornaments, disposable in their purpose. The night descended like a heavy curtain, and Harold prepared to satisfy an urge far darker than the acquisition of wealth. His latest target, a young woman lured by his promises of luxury, sat comfortably unaware of the danger before her. With careful precision, Harold executed his crime, her life extinguished, as though it held no more value than that of a moth beneath his grasp. The next day, Harold lounged in his usual manner, an emperor surveying his kingdom. Brushing aside any notion of guilt, he sought another thrill to chase. The stakes were higher now. The routine of his power games with women had grown tedious. He craved something more, something memorable. Fate, or perhaps something darker, answered his call when he encountered Evelyn. Evelyn stood apart from other women Harold had encountered. Radiating poise, confidence, and mystery, she was captivating. His wealth did not diminish her presence. Instead, she seemed to level the playing field without a word. Intrigued, Harold initiated the dance. His charm, honed into a weapon, guided their interactions, but Evelyn remained cryptic, defying Harold's expectations at every turn. It wasn't long before Harold realized Evelyn wasn't like the others. Her subtle resistance, her ability to hold his gaze without shrinking, made her an impossible enigma. She accepted Harold's invitation for further company, and so began a new game, one that Harold was determined to win. The following encounters between Harold and Evelyn played out like a chess match, each move calculated, each word veiling hidden meaning. Harold lavished Evelyn with expensive gifts, elegant dinners, and compliments designed to break down her guard. But Evelyn was impenetrable, her radiant smile revealing nothing of her thoughts. Unbeknownst to Harold, Evelyn wasn't here to indulge his desires. She had an agenda of her own. Late at night, she delved deep into Harold's life, uncovering records, testimonies, and whispers of his criminal acts. The pieces fell into place. The mysterious disappearances, the hushed rumors among his closest allies, and the network of women Harold discarded and destroyed. During one such dinner, Evelyn turned the tables with her charm, dropping cryptic remarks that sparked unease in Harold. She challenged him in ways no one dared, playfully prodding at his psyche, forcing him to reveal more than he intended. Still, Harold couldn't resist her allure. He saw her as both a challenge and the ultimate prize, but beneath that obsession, a flicker of paranoia began to take shape. Harold prided himself on control, on being the master of every situation, especially when women were involved. But Evelyn remained elusive. Every gesture she made, every response she gave, left him more entangled. It wasn't long before Harold realized she was slipping beyond his reach. Evelyn, in turn, began dismantling Harold's defenses. She uncovered his insecurities, forcing him to realize the limits of his power when it came to someone who wouldn't bow. Harold's frustrations grew, and in an unguarded moment, he lashed out. For the first time, he let Evelyn glimpse the true monster beneath the billionaire's polished veneer. But Evelyn didn't flinch. In fact, she seemed to grow stronger, more determined. Harold was unaccustomed to resistance, and it set him on edge. Each step Evelyn took pulled him deeper into a game he no longer understood. What Harold didn't know was how carefully Evelyn had laid her trap. She wasn't just an ordinary woman. She was armed with knowledge of the other women whose lives Harold had ruined. But she wanted more than truth. She wanted Harold to feel the weight of every crime he had ever committed. As Evelyn grew closer, she began to chip away at Harold's empire. First, it was subtle. A canceled deal, a key investor withdrawing their support, whispers of scandal circulating among business circles. All of this was Evelyn's doing, yet Harold was too blinded by his obsession with her to see the hand guiding his downfall. One fateful evening, Harold stormed to Evelyn's location uninvited. His once unshakable confidence had dissolved into reckless desperation. He demanded to know what games she was playing, his voice tinted with the rage of a man losing control. Evelyn, ever calm, revealed glimpses of the cards she held. She knew about the murders, the abuse of power, the lives destroyed by Harold's insatiable lust for dominance. Her words cut sharper than any blade, and Harold, caught in his hubris, let slip damning details that unleashed the full weight of her plan. Realizing her true intentions, Harold erupted in fury. He lunged forward, his menacing presence casting a shadow over her. But Evelyn had anticipated this. Her quick thinking allowed her to evade his grasp, slipping into the night with vital evidence in hand. Evelyn's final act was swift and decisive. She leaked incriminating evidence to the media, framing every revelation with chilling precision. The World Herald had meticulously built came crashing down within days. Desperate, he prowled the shadows in search of Evelyn, hoping for one last chance to turn the game in his favor. But Evelyn was always 2 steps ahead, her calculated moves ensuring there would be no escape for him. Their final meeting was inevitable. Harold, now a shadow of the man he once was, confronted Evelyn in a desolate location. Tension hung thick in the air as the Predator and Avenger exchanged words. With his world reduced to ruins, Harold made one last desperate attempt to assert control. But Evelyn had already won. Whether through justice or vengeance, she delivered a poetic end, leaving Harold with nothing, not even his life. As morning broke and the world continued its pace, Evelyn disappeared without a trace. She left Harold's body behind, a grim monument to his own hubris and evil. Yet the question lingered in the shadows, was Evelyn a deliverer of justice or merely an avenger with her own darkness? The mansion Harold once called home stood empty, its marble halls echoing with silence. Only Evelyn knew the truth that haunted them both, and she carried it with her into the abyss. Evelyn walked into the night, her figure shrouded in mystery. Though she had triumphed, there was no celebration, no victory march. She had merely played her part in a world where darkness met darkness, leaving only quiet devastation in her wake. The camera fades to black as her silhouette vanishes, leaving the audience suspended in uneasy silence. Who truly triumphed, the billionaire who wielded power like a blade, or the woman who took him down in a battle no one truly won?